Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Angela Richey, and I am back with another review. Now, I know I'm not in drag today. I wanted to give you a little drag, but personal life be personal life, and I couldn't get in drag for this episode. But we still had to come up in here and get into the gig. So, yes, honey, we are back with another review. We're doing Chasing Atlanta Season 6. This is Episode 3, and baby, we're going to get into some of my favorite edits and some of the things that I noticed and we got to talk about from this episode. Now, before we get into episode 3, I have to go back to episode 2 because I cannot believe that I forgot to talk about this Way in the Pain edit that we got at the end of the episode. Baby, when I say I was screaming from the top down, the way that this was edited, so good. The way that this was put together in a way, I have to give a lot of shout outs to that whole situation. First and foremost, Andario and Jamar, y'all ate this. The way y'all got this whole situation working, it was everything. Also, I have to give a shout out to Wayne the Pain because, baby, you're an actor. Like, you are an actor. Because Wayne in the white, he was a little meek. He seemed a little lost, aloof, if you will. Shout out to the edit, because y'all made sure that we felt that from him. Because, baby, when he flipped over into that black, okay, when the spirit of Kendra came over him, okay, and we got another transformation from Wayne the Pain, okay, it was giving very much, I'm in control, I'm smooth, I'm slick, I'm ready to go. And I said, now this is the Wayne that Rico fucked. Got it, okay. Because I'm not going to hold you. Wayne flipped into that black. The way y'all put that together, when he went to that black one, I said, hold on. Wayne, you kind of giving a little attractive. Wayne, you a little hot in this moment, friend. It was, period. The Wayne in the black, that little alter ego thing you got, that was cute. So I did have to go back and talk about that because I cannot believe I missed it in my last review. But we had to touch on it because that was a great moment. Probably one of my favorite moments from the whole episode too. So shout out to y'all for that. A lot of things went together to make sure that worked right. And honestly, from a production standpoint, it came together so perfectly. So shout out to that whole little sequence. Because it took me the fuck out. Okay? All right. Now, let's get into episode 3. We're going to start off. I have to give it up. Because I know baby probably is this just, she showed up to do her job. Rico Cassadine, sir, you are you are a green screen confessional guru, genius. Baby, we are now on episode 3. Episode 3, and for the second season in a row, I only want the raw footage of your green screens. Because I know they are hilarious. You gave Andario so much to work with. I promise you they was probably sitting up in that green screen just cackling keying because you gave them so much material to work with and you are so expressive that it just helps to move the season along. And we'll get to another moment where this happens at the end of this episode, but I just have to give a shout out to Rico for always giving it up in those green screens where he's so animated that we get fun moments all the time. So shout out to that. The next thing we get to as we're watching the episode that I really noticed as a production choice, I don't know if it was a production choice. I'm assuming it's a production choice. Whenever we do it, Willa, we are learning based on the experiences we've had with her that Willa's story is going to be consistently very intimate. And the reasons I've picked this up, if you've noticed, every time we get into situations with Willa, the camera's about right here, unless she has a look on. Other than that, we about right here. Willa is fresh-faced. And yeah, we're talking about heavy things, but like I said, from a production standpoint, get what she's talking about, because we're going to look at this outside of that, right? From the production aspect of it, we get this. We get to be so close that we get to be intimate. And then if you guys also notice that a lot of the shots during the therapy session with Willa, none of them are coming from the top down, because if you shoot from the top down, it makes the person imposing, and it makes them more aggressive looking. It makes them look a little scary, like they're kind of in control. And this is not that kind of situation. This is where we want to bring the viewers in, and we want to make sure that they are, on board with the fact that this is an emotional moment. So we're going to drop that camera, and we're going to either do it right at eye level up close, or we're going to do it just ever so slightly below, so that you kind of get that emotion, and that's something you can do with camera work. So if you're ever looking to set an emotion with camera work and you need to make someone look scary, shoot from above them, and you will make them look taller and more imposing on whatever else that they are looking at. So shout out to production for ensuring that we only got intimate shots for Willa. Also shout out to Andario, because there's this editing thing that you do when it comes to Willa, where she does explain how she feels. But most of the time, Willa doesn't have to, because her face will tell you exactly what she's dealing with in that moment. And so there are moments where we cut out while she's talking in her confessional, green screen, whatever. I'm gonna say so many different words. I know it's technically an interview green screen, but we all call it confessionals. Anyway, while she's in this, where she'll be talking and he'll cut to random moments of her face, of her just giving an emotional face. And I appreciated us being able to see those things and having those little cuts in there, really to keep us engaged into what the emotion of that situation was. So shout out to them for creating an air for Willow where we know exactly what is going on. And I love that. All right. So the next thing we have, I've noticed that whenever Tony is doing things that are important, she's with the people who are involved in it. And I really like that some of her personal scenes are not randomly with cast members who would not be a part of her personal life. Because that has happened before, where somebody will sit down with another cast member to go over something real personal. And it's really awkward, because it's like, you just met this person. Like, there's no reason you having this conversation in front of them. So Tony being able to sit down with her god kids and have that moment and kind of really explain to us what being a mother in the community is really like. It's really nice, because we talk about family this, and especially if you watch Dallas, you hear about family. But nobody really gets into the nitty gritty of like being like that mother figure, which a lot of our trans women have had to play for one reason or another with a lot of youth in the gay community. So shout out to production for not faking that scene and letting that be super organic with her. The next thing is something that I have to ask a few questions about. This is where I just said, I wouldn't have made that choice, but you did, in terms of the editing. So we go from Jay Moore being in Chicago the day before his event, talking to Rico and Tonka, telling about his man being for the streets and on Twitter. If anybody else has found Yam Killer, put it in my comment section so we can all go look together, because I couldn't find it. Because I want to see what's going on. I'm not going to hold you. I'm nosy. So we see that day. Then we go to bed, and they let us know it's the next day, and Jay is talking to his mother and his grandfather. And then we cut to commercial, and then we come back to We Were Born and Wayne being in Houston. Okay. But then we go back to Jay Moore on the same day that we were on before the break. That mix, it felt that We Were Born scene, because of that, felt weird. I'm wondering why. I would have personally. I would have done it where we would have done the first day with Rico and Tonka, and they're talking to Jay Moore. We would have went to commercial break. We would have came back to We Were Born, and then we would have just had the entirety of the fashion show. But to do part of the fashion show, a commercial, somebody else's scene, and then the rest of the fashion show was really, really, really awkward. Especially because you had a day break in there that could have, separate that. Again, that is just a timeline choice that I noticed, and I was kind of like, did it make or break anything? No. So we not going to rag on it too much. It was just something I was like, that was a weird timeline choice. But there it is. Shout out to the We Were Born scene. Markel, did you shoot that? That felt very Dallas. It felt very your shooting style. There's this upward camera angle that happens a lot in Dallas too, and I also noticed it on your show. And it might just be because all y'all out there in Texas is just tall, like y'all are huge, like them Texas men are huge. So it could just be because everybody is tall above everybody, so everybody's standing like this with the cameras. But it felt like a Markel produced scene. So I'm wondering if Markel produced that scene in Houston for We Were Born and Wayne the Pain. Either way, good scene. It all the flow was weird, but it worked out. It all looked nice. So shout out to all of those things there. Now we move on. We get down to J.M. Moore's fashion show, and baby, this is where Dario got to play. Ooh, and as somebody who has edited or someone who looks at the editing, you can tell when somebody is just having fun. Okay, this scene includes so many different editing techniques just to move the shit along. But like I said, Dario got to play. And when you have wonderful talent like Rico Cassadine and Tonka Garcon who will give it up and have a good time in that confessional, baby, you get to play with it. Now here's what we all know about the place. Baby, it was cold in there. And how do we know? Not only did Tonka say it, Dario to put snow in the background of his dang on confession. And he didn't just leave it there for the one time when Tonka said it. No. And this is what I appreciated. That snow stayed until the end of that scene. Every other time we saw Tonka pop up in the green screen, it was snowing. Because he was cold. He wanted us to know it was cold, and Dario wasn't going to let us forget. It was cold, and I was here for it. So shout out to that edit. But then comes my favorite thing. I swear, I don't know why I love this. It is one of my favorite things to see ever. It is when the action is actually happening, and then we get a green screen person talking about what's happening on the screen, like they the weatherman or something, talking about the stuff. Yeah, it gave very much that with Rico Cassadine. Rico Cassadine was very much the weatherman, pointing at the fact they got put up in the nosebleeds. The whole edit was flawless. It was funny. It moved the scene along. What was a basic thing that happens at fashion shows, people get moved out their seats. But we just turned it into something that was an editing goldmine of fun. That part of the episode was fun. You could tell that Dario, I could tell you had a fun time editing that part together. So shout out to you. It was fun for us to watch. It was fun for me to see all those different techniques be used within a short amount of time and not feel like it was overworked. That's the part right there. So we appreciate that. All right. Now, this is a production choice that I have. More so a question. Troy, friend, now I noticed this before, and I was wondering if maybe I was having some issues with my vision, or maybe the camera was, like, maybe just the one shot was off. Troy, not Troy, because, like, you did what you wanted, you looked nice. When we saw him on camera, did it not look like he got punched in the face by, and had like too big of gunmetal black? Cause like that gunmetal contour in the green screen with everything else being so orange, including his eyeshadow, it's not. Like, am I the only one that finds the color being thrown off? Like, every time Troy's green screen comes on, it's like bright up here, and because his cheeks have that gunmetal highlight on it, it makes the rest of his face almost look ashy. And I hate that for him, because Troy is gorgeous. Like, Troy is really, really a really handsome guy. And so, I don't know. Maybe in person, this gunmetal highlight looked better. I would love to see what it looked like in person. Because sometimes makeup choices, they look great in person and they don't read on camera. And I have learned that. Ooh, I have learned that. So maybe this is one of those moments. Because I said it in my first one that I felt like everybody was really orange. It was giving very much Saint Tropez vibes all over the screen. And I'm getting that in his eyeshadow too with Troy. So I don't know. Maybe this gunmetal worked better in person. But every time I see it on the screen, I'm wondering if something was wrong with the camera. And I hate that for him. Anyway, it's not something he can really change. It's done. It's shot now. Like, it is what it is. I was just like, I wonder if that would probably be a lot of work to try and tweak in all his green screen. Ain't nobody doing that much. No shade. Nobody's doing that much work. That's way, like, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, oh, no, girl. That's way too much work to be trying to do that. So it is what it is. No big deal. I saw that and I was like, oh, I don't know that I like that. But either way, we're going to move on. It's not that big a deal. All right. Now we get to this last scene where Oliver done brought the people together to make candles. And of course, this is an Oliver event. I don't know why anybody thought this was going to be anything less than messy, crazy, and out of control. Oliver does nothing but keep up the mess. I hope everyone did catch the shade. I'm not really doing a real review, but I had to catch it. I hope everyone caught the shade where Oliver basically said he was going to lead a group, but then people who had something to lose showed up, so he stayed. So for the rest of you cast members, I just want you to know Oliver did not. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Y'all are all cool. Don't start with me. I'm not about to start the mess. But he did say that he was happy that some people who had something to lose were around the group now. Anyway, we just talk about the edits and the production. If you want some reviews, there are plenty of them out there from some amazing, wonderful content creators. Okay, you got from ratchet and crazy to all the stuff in between and super nice. Okay, so find one of them reviewers. They're gonna talk about what happened in the episode. Hell, I'm gonna find them too. Okay, I'm gonna be watching them right there with you. We're gonna talk about these edits because we have to get to the star of this scene and probably the star of this damn episode. Baby, Tonka and Tony's wrists. Woo! Baby, I know I'm not the only one who loved every second of us getting cutscene shots to Tony and Tonka doing this with the candle while they sitting there arguing. Tony just like, But shout out to them for constantly staying in motion and things like that, because one thing about it, and I really hate this, that happens is when we film these shows, people forget to be normal. It is not natural for everyone just to stand or just to sit and watch. Like, that's not natural. People fidget. People look and interact with the things on the table. So it was hilarious that she just sitting there like... And you know what? And Dario, you didn't miss it. You cut to it every chance you got. And you let us know that this conversation was... Here, let me help you over... Well, this is what I got from that conversation, right? Every time we got to a cutscene of this stirring, we were talking about things that really were not relevant. Why are we talking about this? This is a conversation between y'all from how long ago that was not filmed, not anywhere? Girl, Although there is one thing that I noticed, and I'm wondering if it's foreshadowing or if it just was what the editing choice was at the moment. There was a part where Troy was down to his green screen and he was talking, and there is a clock and he's talking about his friendship with Dominique specifically, and there is a clock sound ticking in the background, like tick tock, tick tock. Is this foreshadowing to an explosion? Because we didn't get no explosion in this moment. You know, they just kind of argued and then Kane left. But there was a TikTok specifically while Troy was talking about his friendship with Dominique. Let's watch and see. We're going to have to continue watch the next episode and see. Like I said, we're going to keep it cute around here. We're just going to talk about the edits that I really liked and the production choices. And so this was episode 3. Episode 3 was cute. It moved. The storylining is still phenomenal. We still keeping these stories moving along, and I'm excited to see it. I'm having a good time with this. I hope y'all are too. Make sure you jump in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite edit or even your favorite scene in the show was. And make sure you leave a little like or something. And subscribe. I'll be here around a while. Maybe, sort of, probably. But I know what I will do is I will be back next week for episode 4. Bye. Bad yet? No, go ahead, get up out of here. Go watch one of my other videos. Or go check out some other stuff that you like to watch with me in it. Like The Deception. Go watch The Deception. I got a little part in there. Amen. Bye, beautiful people.